With the wettest conditions of the weekend, the historic road sport race is going to be a tough one for the drivers. 3 Morgans made the top 5, with Richard Plant and Robin Pierce's +8 taking the front row ahead of Roger Waite's Lotus Elan. Andy Shepherd's Lotus 7 took 4th, ahead of Kevin Kilbocken's Morgan. Off and running and straight into the large amounts of standing water, making the event look more like a boat race than cars. The Morgans soon established themselves at the front of the field, but with the rain getting worse and some drivers deciding to pull out, the race was red flagged. Most wise people would probably seek shelter at this point. I'm stood here, and as you can see, it's raining pretty heavily. So heavily that these cars aren't going to be going anywhere anytime soon. I've come down here to talk to the drivers on just how bad that torrential downpour was. So what was it like being out there on an open top car on that downpour?
Well, I think in 11 years of racing Morgans, I don't think I've ever had anything quite like that one. I couldn't see a thing. Absolutely couldn't see anything. In fact, I was fighting to get the aero screen down just so that the rain would hit me in the face rather than on the screen. So, but no, I mean, look, I could see a little bit, but it wasn't good.
Looking forward to the restart now.
No,
I mean, conditions aren't much better.
Well, I'm absolutely shaking because I'm so cold. So I'll see how it goes, and if need be, I'll just go in.
You're one of the lucky ones here. You've actually got a roof on your car compared to the Morgans. How's it feeling for you?
Yeah, the problem is back here is you get the spray off the cars in front. So around the back where it was quite wet with the heavy rain, it was very difficult to see anything. We have these high intensity rain lights on the back of the car, which help an awful lot, but it's almost impossible to see those. The visibility was just so bad with the spray and the rain. So it was a sensible decision to stop the racing. You know, we all want to race, but we all want to be safe. That's amazing.
So I've been talking to a few of the drivers, and they said you literally couldn't see anything now. Is that the case?
Well, I was simply following the rain light of the Morgans, and when they blasted away a bit, going out of village towards church, then I was completely blind. And I was trying to look at the side of my windscreen because unlike them, I'm not allowed to have a little aero screen that I can look over the top of. Yep. So I had this great visual block here, and it was pretty dire. I mean, I must say, I was a bit surprised it was red flagged, but only for a moment, because then it got even heavier. And we had hail, didn't we, at one point?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty dire. But I'm up for it. I'm up for having a go. As long as people drive sensibly. You have to drive on public roads in this sort of weather, so you know, why don't we? And we're a pretty sensible group in historic road sports, I think.
So it's your first race. You picked an ideal time to start.
Yeah.
Could you see anything out there at all, or?
No. Yeah. By the time they red flagged, it's pretty hard to see anything. It's just about to see the car in front, but not much more than that.
A few of the drivers were saying there's quite a lot of grip there, but they just couldn't see anything. Were you feeling the same, or?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too bad. A bit more slippery, but yeah, it's the visibility was the problem.
Eventually, the race was restarted and ran to a shortened duration. A first boat home turned out to be Robin Pierce's Morgan, followed by Ben Adams in his Turner, and the Lotus 7 of Andy Shepherd. Larry Kennedy was 4th in his Lotus, and rounding off the top 5 was the Porsche 911 of John Shaw. And where were we during this race? We're in Thruxton Circuit, Marshall Shed, filming, because we're crazy.
Crazy! Woo!